Well, I don't belong to an organized religion. I live the goddess path, which is a path of spirituality. So where do I get my authority? Because I can't point to a book and say, here's where I get my authority. Here's where I'm authorized to be the goddess priestess. Blessings, dear sisters, to this episode of the Dancing with the Goddess show. I'm Priestess Tora Moon, your guide to exploring, connecting, and remembering the feminine divine, the goddess. Today I'm out in the beautiful southwest desert of southern Utah at a place called Kayenta. It's an artist village. And one of the things that they have that I love is a labyrinth. I love walking labyrinths. They just are such a good way of meditating. And I tend to like more active meditations than just the quiet ones. So walking a labyrinth is a great meditation for me. And this place, you wouldn't think in southern Utah and all the Mormons that there would be this oasis of sacredness and space dedicated to the goddess. But there is. And you can find those places of sacredness wherever you are. So we're going to start today with a prayer to the goddess. Great Mother of all that is, we ask for thy presence here. We ask for the goddess collective of all those goddesses of this world who wish to be here. We invite them into this space. And we ask the goddess for the guidance, for speaking through me to share my love of the goddess and share those things that the goddess wants me to share today. And I pray that those women who need to hear this message finds it with ease and grace. Blessed be. The topic of the show today is spiritual authority. And the reason this came up was a few weeks ago, my mom was sick. She had some issues with her heart. She's okay now. And my sister and I were sitting and talking, and I mentioned that I wanted to be more open in my priestess work. I forgot who I was talking to. She's a devout Mormon. She looked at me. Who gave you authority? She asked me. I'm going, huh? Who needs to give me authority? Then I heard the voice of the goddess whisper to me, and I said to my sister, the goddess gives me the authority to be her priestess. Now, talking to a Mormon, they believe that their founder of the church, Joseph Smith, received his priesthood and his authority to be the leader of that church and to form that church from the angel Moroni. And I'm going, So how is me getting my authority from the goddess any different? I don't think it is. Then being the type of person that I am, that I love words, I'm an author, I'm a writer, not only of nonfiction and about the goddess, but I also write fantasy, in which the goddess always shows up. So being me in this love of words, I looked up what authority was in the dictionary. And the main thing is citing a work as where you get it. Yeah. So in organized religions, they can pull up their sacred texts and say, see this passage right here? This is where I get my authority. Well, I don't belong to an organized religion. I live the goddess path, which is a path of spirituality. So where do I get my authority? Because I can't point to a book and say, here's where I get my authority. Here's where I'm authorized to be the goddess priestess. Doesn't exist. You know, the only sacred texts that we have when we are following our own spiritual path are pretty much the ones that we're writing based on our experiences, based on the guidance that we receive from the goddess. So where do we get that authority? How do we become authorized to be priestesses? And the guidance that I've received and that I fully believe is that it comes from within. It comes from our inner being. That part of ourselves, our soul, if you want to use that word, same thing, which is always, always connected to Source and to the divine. And it makes us divine because we are, my sisters, we are divine. And that's where we get that authority. You, my sisters, can be the priestess of your own life. And in the next episode, we'll talk about what is a priestess. But you can determine what is right for you. You don't need me to tell you that. I'm here to share what I've learned. I'm here to share the messages that I get. And it's up to you to determine what feels right for you and what doesn't. Those things that are speaking to you that I speak about, that, you know, are like hitting you, is like, yes, take those and add those into your life. But those pieces that say, she's crazy as a loon, that doesn't fit me, don't use them. You have the authority. You have the right to choose your own path. We were all given the blessing of free will. And that free will cannot be taken away by any power on this earth or non-physical. That is your right as a divine being. That free will of choosing is your divine right. Now with that comes responsibility. Because yes, you have the free will of choosing and doing whatever you want. But is that good for your soul? Is that good for society? Is that good for your family? Is it good for yourself? So you have to stop and think and meditate and ponder and make that choice, and that conscious choice of what you're going to do. Is it in alignment with your full potential? Is it in alignment with your soul? If it is, and it feels good and joyful, then by all means do it. But if it feels a bit icky and you're not, that's your inner being, your soul, giving you guidance on what to do. It's giving you guidance on what is right for you and what isn't. So how do we listen to our inner being, to our higher self, to our full potential, to our soul? All of those mean the same thing, so choose the word that fits you. I use them all interchangeably. So how do we connect to that part of us that is always connected to Source, that's always connected to the divine, and that is our divine being? How do we connect to it consciously? By going in and doing meditation and connecting. We can do it by paying attention to how we feel, because the way it communicates with us is through our feelings and our emotions. So by practicing presence, of being fully present in the moment of whatever you're doing, and taking that just a few seconds, it can be less than 30 seconds, of saying, how do I feel in this moment? How do I want to feel? What do I want to experience in this moment? Taking that few seconds to have those thoughts connects you to your inner being. And let those impulses of thought, those impulses of direction, those impulses of emotion guide you. So I invite you to close your eyes. And we're going to do a short meditation to connect with our higher selves, with our inner being. And breathe. Take a deep breath in and let it out. Take another deep breath in. Hold it and slowly let it out. Take another deep breath in. 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, and let it out. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, and just going deeper. And breathe in again. And breathe in peace and serenity. And breathe out stress and worry. Breathe in serenity. Breathe out stress, for attention. And continue breathing on your own nice, deep, relaxing breaths. Drop your attention from up in your mind, in that area, and drop your attention down to your heart, and just below the heart in the center of your body. And now go deep within. And deeper still into that dark cavern, that dark wholeness of yourself. And this is where your inner being resides. And in that connection to the void, that is where it is connected to Source, to the divine. And in this swirling void is you, the true essence of you. And connect with that essence. And ask it, what is right for you in this now moment? How can you practice connecting consciously to your inner being? And that answer can be different for every one of you. So how your inner being, your full potential, wants to connect with you. Is there a certain feeling, a certain sound, a certain image that will let you know that your higher self, your full potential, your inner being, your soul is speaking to you? And know you are always connected to your inner being, your higher self. There is no separation between you, your physical you, your conscious you, and it, that divine aspect of yourself. Thank it for the guidance that you received. And start coming back to awareness of your physical body. Taking a deep breath and letting it out. And coming more present into your body and into this time and space. Another deep breath. And let it out. More present, more here. And when you're ready, open your eyes, wiggle your fingers, stretch. Be fully in your body in this time and place. I have a guided meditation to meet and connect with your higher self. And it's my gift to you. I have the link in the description of where you can download it and listen to it as many times as you need to connect and know your higher self. And one thing to remember is your higher self and your inner being is not limited to this physical form. It can show up as a mirror image of you. It can show up as a being of light. It could show up as an animal. So be open to however it shows up for you, because it'll be whatever you need to see at the moment. And it might morph and change over time as you connect more deeply with it. And it's a good idea to take a few minutes every day to just consciously connect to your inner being and just invite it to be part of your life. It is already. And what you're inviting is your consciousness to be aware of it. So my sisters, you are the authority of your life. Your spiritual authority comes from within, from your inner being. I bless you, my dear sisters. And I send these blessings that you can connect with ease and grace, and as deeply as you need, with your inner being, with your full potential, your higher self, your soul, that you can receive the guidance that you need. We give thanks to the Goddess for being here and guiding us to connect with our inner beings and to know where our spiritual authority comes from. We give thanks to all those goddesses within the Goddess Collective that were here, that blessed us with their presence and shared their wisdom with us today. We are complete. There is great love here for you. May you dance with the joy and love with the Goddess. And we'll see you in the next episode. Blessings.